Hey guys, JawsTheSharkNews here, and today we're gonna be doing yet another news video, and yeah, let's get started on it. Um, so we'll start off this video with a little sad news. Now, this was reported a couple days ago, but I figured let's take the time to look at this. Unfortunately, a few days ago, the actor Tony Todd passed away. Now, for those who don't know who Tony Todd is, at least in regards to Transformers, he voiced the Fallen in Revenge of the Fallen, and he also voiced Dreadwing in Transformers Prime. Yeah, he was 69 years old, and from what I saw, at least last I checked, there hasn't been like a cause of death revealed or anything, but it's so unfortunate to hear. My condolences to his family, and yeah, and he also played the Candyman in Candyman, the Candyman franchise, I should say, and he was in a lot of movies and TV shows. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, so now for more positive news. Let's get into a new line that was recently revealed by, of all things, Amazon Australia. But yeah, so this is like a kind of a new line, but in this kind of at the same time, not really, because well, for those who grew up in the 2010s, mid 2010s, there was a similar line to this. But let's start off by talking about what this is, and this is called Transformers Mix Masters. And so basically, it's a line where you got, let's say, like two or three figures, and you could just take each part, and so you could like remove the heads, the arms, the legs, all that good stuff there, and then just put it on a different character's body or something. And yeah, it's I don't know, like I mean it's as toys it seems fun, but if this actually happened in like a Transformers show, that'd honestly be a bit creepy. But yeah, so yeah, here's this right here. Here's Bumblebee, and yeah, the reason why I say it's not a new line is because around 2015, I want to say, Hasbro had this line called Hero Mashers, and that actually covered quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but a little amount of Hasbro lines. So you had Transformers, and then you had Marvel, and then Star Wars was technically aren't Hasbro, but they're licensed to Hasbro for toys. And yeah, so basically same thing. You could swap parts around. So they're basically, in other words, they're just bringing that back on just under a new name. And yeah, but these seem a bit different. I mean, like in terms of style, because these look a bit more, kind of more traditional designs. Whereas with the Hero Mashers, they kind of had their own kind of shape or something, where they all look like muscular men or whatever. But yeah. So here's the box for Bumblebee, and yeah, and this is basically kind of the layout of all the joints, and they look pretty similar to the Hero Mashers. So who knows? Maybe I could swap those around with these, and yeah, and that's kind of an idea of what that looks like. Basically, a Frankenstein, and yeah, and then here's some of the figures. So you got Bumblebee, Optimus Primal, and Starscream, as well as a kid just drooling at them, and yeah, and then here's Megatron, which his face kind of it's a bit yellow. It kind of reminds me of Transmutate a little bit. I don't know. Well, hopefully it doesn't look that yellow in the final product. And yeah, you could also give him tank treads for feet. And yeah, and here's his set. So his seems to be like for like a bigger price point because he's got more accessories. And yeah, and his head looks pretty big in these shots, especially this one. And as you can see, there's Optimus Prime's body, and speaking of, well, here's Optimus Primal right here. And yeah, whoops. But yes, there also is Optimus Prime right here. And he comes with, I'm guessing it looks like the Ark, or at least, well, it isn't the Ark itself, but it's like kind of themes after a little bit. Like, he's got orange boots and orange gloves, I guess. So, or gauntlets more so. And those kind of do resemble the Ark's color scheme a little bit. Here's the box. And there's this plain old Optimus Prime with just rammed 2 purple pistols on his forearms for some reason. And here's the layout of the accessories he comes with. Not as diverse as the ones with Megatron, but still. And yeah, that's kind of gives us a better idea of how these look. And yeah, so far it only seems that they're doing Transformers, but I'm sure at some point they'll expand back to Marvel and Star Wars and maybe Power Rangers, because 10 years ago they didn't even have Power Rangers, Hasbro, so they could always do that. G.I. Joe. Yeah, there's a lot of options Hasbro could do with Mix Mashers. It doesn't just have to be Transformers, but I'd say it's at least a good way to get a kickstart in here. So, because Transformers are probably Hasbro's biggest brand. Well, maybe second, maybe behind My Little Pony, I suppose, but still pretty high up. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Next here we have Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. So yeah, this one was quite unexpected because I don't know if I've seen a listing for this or any Devastation. Well, there was one Studio Series Devastation listing, I believe, for a Seeker. I think I forgot who it was. It was like a generic character. It wasn't like Megatron, Optimus, Soundwave, or whatever. It was just like a generic Autobot or Decepticon Scout or something. But yeah, but it looks like we will be getting, after all, uh, actual names, characters from Devastation in Studio Series. So hey, that's pretty cool. So yeah, and we're starting off here with Optimus Prime. Now, as you can tell, he looks pretty small. Now he's not tiny, but you could tell he's a bit smaller, and that is because he is a deluxe. So yeah, he kind of, in a way, he kind of almost looks like one of those Japanese, almost smaller versions of Transformers. Like, he looks like he's about the size of a core class, but it kind of has that more Japanese sort of engineering. I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm talking about. Even I'm not sure what they're called, but if you often see like those, they have like those small little Transformers that, despite being small, they have like the engineering of bigger figures, kind of. Reminds me of that a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. There's the truck mode, and yeah, and there he is. And yeah, I don't know about this. I might still get it because it's Optimus, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Is All I can say is hopefully he at least looks better in person. That's just the only my only hope here for this guy. But yeah, we'll see. It's unknown when he's going to come out, but because this wasn't even revealed by Hasbro officially. It was from In Demand Toys, and it's a Facebook page. It says on here, so it was just kind of a leaked image in a way. But yeah, might get it, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so now for some catch-up reveals, or catch-up news, I guess. Because as you can see, this here was posted in, towards the end of last month. So this is like 2 weeks old or whatever, but yeah, screw it, we're going to cover it because, I want to talk about this a little bit. So, yeah, so a few weeks ago we got some Studio Series reveals, and yeah, they're all quite surprising. Well, at least 2 of them. So yeah, let's get started. So starting off, we have Ape Link from Rise of the Beasts, and yeah, he was for those who forgot who he is, he was the bigger gorilla, the more silver looking one at the start of Rise of the Beast, the one that sacrificed himself to Scourge, in order to save the rest of the Maximals so they could get away. But yeah, so here he is in robot mode. Now, we never saw him in this mode in the film, but basically, but because his gorilla design is very similar to Optimus Primal's, it makes sense that his robot mode is kind of similar too. But yeah, it looks all right. There were some in-hand images from the 1027 thing. Or no, it wasn't 1027. It was whatever event that they revealed this at. They have robot images and they actually look pretty good. But here it just looks like they straight up recolored Primal, well, at least in the face. But he does have some new arms, or at least forearms, so that's pretty nice. And here he is in gorilla mode. And here too, it looks a bit lazy because on the in-hand stuff, he actually had the sort of fangs or whatever that he had in the movie, but here it's literally just again Optimus Primal's face, but in the colors of Ape Link. But I mean, no matter whatever it is, I'll still get it because it would be nice to have all 5 of the Maximals from the film. So yeah. Next up, this one I really did not expect at all. So we're going back to basically the beginning of Studio Series, and well, maybe not like right at the beginning, but like the first year of Studio Series, and that is that they're remaking the Bumblebee movie, VW Beetle, well, Bumblebee. And yeah, here he is in car mode, and yeah, so basically the reason that Hasbro's redoing this guy is because the original figures, I forgot the number, was it like 18 or something? But yeah, that one was based on the early concept art of Bumblebee in that film. Now, the alt mode isn't really much different because, they already had that in place, but it was the robot design, they have to come up with on their own. So he had the big old door wings in the back, which this guy kind of still has, but there's ways around it. But let's first go through this, and here's his robot mode, and this is definitely where you can see the improvements from the previous version of this guy. So, he looks a lot more proportionally accurate, and he's got more details, paint. His head's not puny like the old one, and yeah, it just looks pretty solid. Especially like the legs and stuff, because remember on the old one they're all, it was all cluttered almost, but in here it's a lot cleaner, I'd say. So yeah. Now, as you can see, he still has a bit of a backpack, but I believe, from what I heard, there's a way you can still remove the door wings. So you can, or at least I don't know if you can flip them down, but in the final film, he had door wings, but there's kind of flipped behind his back, so you didn't see him. So from what I've heard, you could remove those. I forgot where I heard this, but I've at least seen it. There's no official images of it though. But yeah, I'll definitely be picking this up. Probably once I review this guy and compare him with the old one, I'll probably just sell that one off if anyone even wants it. But yeah, so brand new for 2025, Bumblebee. And last but not least, this one is a figure I happened to get early, 2 years early, and I reviewed it on my channel. So that's right, folks. I'm officially a toy thief. Nah, just kidding. So Hasbro's re-releasing the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. And that's because last year it was released as a Target exclusive under the Buzzworthy Bumblebee banner. And unfortunately, a lot of people, especially international fans, weren't able to get a hold of it because Target obviously is in the US, that's where it's based, but I don't know if it's in any other country. I know Canada had Toys R Us for a few years, but they don't have it anymore. So, a lot of international fans of Transformers had to try to find some other way. I guess maybe in Japan they didn't have to struggle because they got the Takara Tomy malls and stuff. But elsewhere it was pretty hard to find this guy from even here in the U.S. Like I was honestly pretty lucky to find this guy when I did, because I didn't really even see him again. Like he only stayed on the shelves for like a few weeks and then gone. Like literally, just no more. But now he's getting a mass retail release. So for those who missed out on him, here you go. This is your chance to pick him up again, and this time probably in better stock. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that part of the video. And last but not least, for even older news, 2 days before the previous article, uh, Hasbro had their annual 10/27 event, which is held on October 27th. So, yeah, so they didn't reveal as much as, like, let's say, the Comic Cons or whatever that they do, or PulseCon. But we still got some little sneak peeks here and there, so let's get started. So, they start off by wait to see. Okay, no, nothing here. So they start off by I guess officially announcing the next mainline for Transformers after Legacy, and that is Age of the Primes. So the first figure that they revealed from the line here is Megatronus Prime, and aka the Fallen. And let me see, does it say what class he is? I'm trying to see. Okay, he's a leader. That's good. So yeah, here he is, and you can see he is on fire, which I think looks pretty sick. And he's got a staff. He's got a fusion cannon, just like his eventual. I don't know. Well, I guess his namesake had a fusion cannon, just like him. We'll just say. Well, not Megatronus' namesake, but rather Megatron's namesake. Anyways, and they point out here the symbol. I believe I think the primes have like their own symbols, and this is Megatronus's. And yeah, so we get some up close shots. Here he is in his tank mode. Again, I think that looks really cool. Definitely nailing it here. I can't wait to see the rest of the primes when they reveal those. And yeah, and I believe the flame accessories are removable, so he's not always gonna be on fire, which is good. And yeah, and then here's the box. It's kind of hard to tell, but the window is back. Well, the plastic window, I should say, because I mean they have brought back a window on Lear class figures, but you can still touch the figure from the outside. But the plastic is back to protect him from any figure swappers or anything like that. But also, as you can see, the box style has changed for the first time in like 10 years. So yeah, now the Transformers logo isn't on the side anymore. Now it's horizontally at the bottom. And yeah, and they got the art on the fronts. It's it's more of a traditional box again. It's not like the Siege era kind of sloped box. It's just more of a standard one, which I don't really care how the box is shaped. All I care about is the figure inside of it. And here's the art for Megatronus, and yeah, that looks really sick. He got like his face mask there. It's all well, it's not on fire, but he got everything else on fire. That just looks really, really cool. And yeah, so yeah, the pre-orders have been up for a couple weeks now. So yeah, and next up we have the Constructicons. That's right, folks. They're finally here. The SSA 6 Constructicons are coming soon. And it almost sounds like an ad. But yeah, as you can see here, they revealed the first two Constructicons for the SSA 6 line. And yeah, so the two they revealed, let me see, are let's see, Scrapper and Bone Crusher. So yeah, yeah, I believe this is Scrapper right here. I kind of get some of the Constructicons mixed up, but I believe that's Scrapper, and I think he's a deluxe or Voyager. I forgot. It kind of looks like a deluxe, and yeah, he looks really nice. Definite improvement from the Combiner Wars Constructicons. And yeah, and then there's Menasor next to him. Kind of Hasbro continuing off with the Combiner replacements from Combiner Wars, because those kind of suck, to be honest. And yeah, so there's Scrapper, and then they should reveal, uh, was it Bone Crusher, I thought? Yeah. Yeah, here he is. A lot of people know, he looks a little fat, because, he didn't really look like that in G1, but he does a little here. But, I think he looks fine. Kind of gives him more of a, sort of a brute look. And, yeah. Pretty nice. I mean, not a lot of paint, but that's just kind of how he looks. And there they are, or at least there he is with Optimus, the recently released 86 one. Yeah, well, there's both of them next to him. And yeah, and the same new box style applies to Studio Series. And for the first time, actually, since they started, I guess they seem to be removing the numbers from it. So, like he had SS, was it like SS 100 was Rise of the Beast, Bumblebee, for example, or SSA 601 was, I forgot who it was. It wasn't it like Cup or something, or Blur. It was one of them. And so yeah, now it just Transformers Studio Series. No, like, Transformers Studio Series, Transformers Studio Series number this, or Transformers. No, they've given up on the numbering system, which is kind of a shame, because they're getting pretty far with that. Yeah, that's kind of how they look in the box. Those, of course, that's not the figures themselves in there. Those are just like cardboard cutouts of, renders of the figures, and they just put them inside. But yeah, so these guys are coming out around April, and then the rest of them come out in July and September. So yeah, I'm definitely really looking forward to getting this, because I actually don't even own the original, or not the original. Well, I don't have the original either, but I don't have the Combiner Wars one. And here they are about to unveil a prototype of Devastator. And because it's a prototype, it's all in gray, but still, it's really nice to see. And yeah, he looks really, really cool. Now, when combined, I don't know it's too much of a difference from the Combiner Wars one, because, I mean, at least when combined, Devastator looks pretty solid, but it's individually where you notice it. But I'm sure they've made engineering improvements throughout, and it's a lot more, I guess, sturdy than, because those old combiners were not sturdy. I mean, I'm not sure how it was on Devastator, but like Menasor or Bruticus, not really as good. But yeah, and there he is next to Menasor. The only complaint is I feel like Devastator should be a lot bigger than Menasor, because Devastator was like the biggest combiner of them all, I'm pretty sure. And I know he was like a lot more massive, like compared to like Superion, Menasor, Bruticus, but yeah, I mean at least, I mean he still appears to be bigger, just not as much bigger as I hoped he'd be, but yeah, that's just that though. He still looks pretty nice. There he is with Prime, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And yeah, that's pretty much it there for that. Let me just make sure there's nothing else. So yeah, these guys are for pre-order. So if you want to reserve one, then you can do that right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it for all this news for today. So yeah, so anyways, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of all this news today, or even some of it from weeks ago. So yeah, but anyways, guys, as always, till all, R1.